Hey everyone. It is the end of 2020 and we're in our
drop kick that year.
That's right. Sadie and Eric here with our matching Compass swag sweatshirts. These are our new sweatshirts that we gave out at the end of this year, and we are just going to share for a few minutes our retrospective on 2020. Year to remember.
No. Zip. No. And this is going to not be like a downer. You don't have to like put on your...
Right. You don't have to go grab... This is not a drinking game. Okay. You know, like when my sister got her, she graduated, my sister, I'm so proud of her. She graduated with her degree in veterinary medicine from UC Davis in May. And it was all virtual, of course, and so they played a drinking game during the graduation ceremony. And when any of the virtual speakers said the words
pandemic,
unprecedented, whatever, students were taking a shot.
COVID, of course.
Oh, right. And different words were different amounts.
She had a picture of
margarita.
Alcohol.
She had a picture of a margarita, and she was sipping from it the whole time.
It was gone by the end of it.
So we are not doing that, and if you want to treat that like this is only going to be a few-minute video, so you would have a drinking problem if that triggered that. But anyway, but we all know what 2020's been about, right? It's been about a year that has definitely made an impact on our lives.
Like no other, as you said. Unprecedented.
So, and yeah, of course we want to talk about that, but today we're going to talk about 2020 from the standpoint of what the challenges were that we need to acknowledge, what changes were in the role of Compass, and what our triumphs were. If you know me and Sadie at all, you know that we are people who are people of faith, and faith means positivity. Faith means that believing that there is always a better opportunity for tomorrow, that God's on our side, He's in a good mood. And so we are not, nor have we ever been throughout this year, doom and gloomy. You know, we have not been Eeyore, you know.
I mean, we are going to fully acknowledge, and when we talk about challenges, this has been a hard year.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to fully acknowledge that we've lost some of the dearest, sweetest clients we've ever had. We also want to acknowledge that you have all had to step up and carry so much more weight as day programs shut down, as other things were canceled, and we had to carry the weight of individuals' lives in even a more tangible way while we worried about our own safety and health. So we are certainly very aware of Eric and I regularly called it the 1,000-pound weight we all had to carry as we lifted this year and carried this year with grace and dignity and courage and bravery. So our challenges are pretty well documented throughout the world right now. But we just want to say that we were not just defined by our challenges. So we want to spend some time on the other pieces too, but we do want to acknowledge and just for a minute, like, have a moment of, oof, that was tough.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, I think this has been said before, but 2020 had a year with a pandemic, economic collapse, race-related riots, actually, and the most horrible political turnover that in my lifetime. Those are 4 decade-defining events, and we all had them in 1 year. So 2020 was the hardest year probably in my lifetime. You know, I'm 51. I got a few years behind me. So, it was the hardest year of my lifetime, and so we want to acknowledge that.
All right. So in the midst of carrying this super heavy load, with all the craziness, chaos, and uncertainty, we also underwent quite a bit of change in our organization. So we want to acknowledge that as well.
A lot of growth.
Yeah. So we brought on options. Sacramento came and became a part of our community, and we've been working alongside of them about 6 months now. We also, right before the pandemic, opened an office in Chico, which is really fun. We now have a college town that we're working with. We already had college towns, but we got a new one. Chico, we're serving in Chico, as well as we saw quite a few clients, 19 to be exact, come over and start working with us in Ukiah right before the pandemic. So we added, we grew as a family and changed as a family as we added Sacramento and Chico, as we added new areas as well as grew in our current areas. So we're so proud of our organization for being willing to continue to grow and change in the middle of a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah, it's really an indication of the health of our community and the quality of our organization that we've become in many places the go-to SLS and ILS agency when the community's kind of feeling a little bit of tumult. Mm-hmm. So well done, everybody. Another big change that happened in 2020 is that Compass became the owner of QSP. Now, this may not mean a lot to most folks. It probably won't, but when we founded QSP, a decade or so ago, we did it with some partners, some really good gentlemen out in Texas, and Compass was just a customer of QSP. Well, as of December of this year, of 2020, Compass is now the only owner of the company, and we're merging it fully into Compass to where QSP will be a part of Compass. We're still going to serve other agencies. We're still going to sell the software, but it's Compass's now fully. And the cool thing about that is it's going to make it even easier for us to innovate and bring new features and new abilities in QSP that Compass is super excited about.
Well, there have already been some that we've added. Go ahead and share some of the ones that we've added this year.
One of the ones that I'm really just totally geeked up about is the electronic DSNs. We have said bye to all those darn paper forms.
If you're wondering what a DSN is, it is a direct service note.
Mm-hmm. As part of our contracts with the regional center, that we're going to make notes about how service goes every day, and that's really good to do. But it didn't have to be on paper, and so now we can do it electronically. It has to occur. So our staff are going to be reminded that before they can clock out of their shift, they've got to fill that note out, and that's really going to help us stay in compliance with our contracts and stay in good standing with the regional center. We've also included a health check where you clock in and you sell, and this was coronavirus just totally drove this, but it's actually, the technology has been really good for us because now you clock in, it's going to ask you, do you have a fever? Do you know anybody who has a fever? Do you think you might know somebody? I'm kidding. But it just helps us give a good record to make sure that we're being responsible as staff and case facilitators with our clients. So that's a big change for Compass. We're excited about it. Good.
So the last thing that we want to focus on are the triumphs. And of course, that brings us back to the challenges in that our team was triumphant. We are so proud of our team and everything that you accomplished and everything that you did to keep our clients safe in 2020. We are so crazy proud of our team. So that's a triumph in and of itself, that each of you stayed present and that you did what needed to get done in this season.
Absolutely. And a hallmark of a good agency, a good organization, is that when they're faced with some sort of headwind, some sort of challenge, they find how to win in that challenge, and they innovate and they come up with solutions that actually last for the long term. And one of the ways that we did that was in SLS. We discovered early on, I remember back in March, we came up with a whole circle model to kind of create these automatic quarantine units before we even really
Make sure everyone stayed safe, as safe as possible.
Before we even really had any idea about how dangerous the virus was, we did this just out of an abundance of caution. And one of the things that we found was actually this produces a result in SLS that is pretty cool. You have tighter teams, you have staff and clients who know each other better. Clients kind of know who's going to be with them more consistently and they feel more secure. Training and service quality goes up because you're teaching the same people about the same client, and it really did make SLS better. So we're keeping it. That was kind of the birthing of what's Renaissance 2 is, when we're basically going to have jobs with attached schedules as opposed to just throwing people in to fill holes.
In ILS, we had the same kind of experience where we, in response to the pandemic, switched to some virtual meetings. And what we've discovered is that there's a place for virtual meetings. We will go back to in person as soon as we can. We love being with our clients. But one of the things is that sometimes in certain situations, virtual is really helpful. So we want to be able to integrate this into our service model and be able to have this be triumphant for the clients, that they have options and they have other types of ways that we can be helpful to them in ILS. So we're really grateful for that as well.
Something else, though, that was a challenge is that we had to lose our retreats, but
they are coming back, and we've been working hard, and we have been coming up with a pretty clever plan. There'll be information coming out in the next couple weeks, and it is a triumph. Because regardless of what's going to happen with the vaccine and the pandemic, we have a plan where we know we can keep people safe and they can be together again, and they can be on an adventure retreat, or they can be on a spa retreat, or they can be on a arts and crafts and creative retreat, or they can be on a spiritual retreat. So we have those coming next year, and we're so excited to offer that. And it's been such a triumph of our team to come up with clever and creative ways that we can be safe and yet still have our retreats next year.
I mean, that's a triumph too this year, is watching our team just be connected. Christmas Palooza was a blast. May Day was so much fun.
All the virtual events.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there's just been so many awesome ways.
I get chills thinking about it. It was so cool.
The parades, we had parades. I mean,
parking lot pizza parties.
You guys were phenomenal. You were so creative, and we're so grateful that our team was so triumphant in every situation. All right, and we are so excited about 2021. It's on its way. It's coming, and we're going to be ready to launch. We have a team that has pulled it together and has gotten tougher and stronger and better over 2020. And so we actually will be opening up some new positions, have some new opportunities in 2021. And we invite you to look at those opportunities and see if you want to really join and at an even deeper level onto our team. So look forward to those emails coming out in the next few months.
Absolutely. And look forward to 2021. You know, I really believe 2021 is going to be a good year. I think there's a lot of new stuff that's going to be happening, a lot of good stuff that's going to be happening.
Well, we're going to be celebrating 25 years
that's
in
right.
2021.
Compass is 25 years. Compass was founded in August of 1996.
So we will be celebrating 25 years next year. There's going to be a lot of things to celebrate, but we just want to take one more minute to say thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so proud of our team. We're so grateful for each and every one of you. You have gone above and beyond the call of duty multiple times, and we just couldn't be prouder.
Absolutely. The leadership here, you really showed what it means to be a leader. You really influenced people, you redirected people, you encouraged people, you celebrated people. Our leaders and our staff are just top notch. There's no one else that Sadie and I would like to be in partnership with as we serve people with disabilities. We're super proud of all of you. Thanks for persevering in 2020. And if I had a glass of champagne, I'd toast you. But it's only 12 o'clock in the afternoon here, so whatever, who am I? But we love you. We're proud of you, and we're so grateful for you all.
All right. Until next year.